Nina's got the flag on her shirt.
I know, I like
Isn't
that.
neat?
Right?
I've seen that.
Oh.
Yeah. The original Maine flag.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the company in Portland started distributing it more and more in the past few years.
Oh, well, they want people to pass it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I think it's a great flag.
I do too.
You know, the flag itself, there's too much empty space.
Right,
I would like the tree bigger like that.
yeah.
I'd be happier with it.
My son said the points on the tree mean something, right? Or something, the amount of points on the tree. They learned it in school, but I'm not exactly
cool?
something about the different,
Okay.
all right, maybe colonies or something. Anyways, there's a certain amount.
I know
of
Tristan's
points on
not
the
coming this
tree.
morning,
Okay.
but he's the only one who I heard from definitively not coming.
Do you know if anybody's joining remotely?
Not that notified me,
Okay.
so.
Cool. I think we should start, though a few people might be late, given that it's a new location and,
We'll just welcome his lily.
Yeah, I think four is your quorum, right?
right? I think so. So we're good. All right. I think because Kelly's still new, I wanted to go around and just say names again. And so that we're not just saying names, can we also say something you ate in the last few weeks that you really liked? I could start. My name is Nina. I'm the current chair, and I ate some really delicious Christmas cookies that my mom made 2 weeks ago.
We're doing this way. I'm Barbara McDade. And I'm not gonna say what I ate because I've had the stomach flu since Christmas Eve.
Sorry, like something different. Interesting.
I think it's over.
I hope. Something you did that you really enjoyed since our last meeting. Anything?
I played, I'm a church organist, so Christmas is a really big time to play, so I love joyful music.
My name's Cal Elmore, and my son sent me a package that was a bamboo steamer and dumplings and sauces, and the dumplings were amazing. Yeah, there's my food thing.
Kelly Chanel, and I have to kind of piggyback on what you said. I went to my mother's at Christmas in upstate New York, and I had her spaghetti sauce, which I miss so much. And there's like no comparison to like your mom's homemade sauce, so it was awesome.
I'm Sarah McQuillan. I'm the Community and Economic Development Assistant. And going off of the Christmas theme, it was a good time to choose the food question. My mom made homemade bagels,
Nice.
which were incredible.
I'm Ann Krieg. I'm the Director of Community and Economic Development for the city. And my husband makes candy fruit peel. And it's awesome to die for.
Right. I think we have 2 sets of meeting minutes to approve.
Yeah.
The one from November and the one from December.
I move the minutes be approved as received.
I'll second.
Great. Do we have to vote?
You can say unless doubted.
I can say what?
They're approved unless doubted.
They're approved unless doubted. Great. Do we have to do that separately for December?
No,
If you move
Great.
both, there were no
Alright.
changes. Yeah, that's fine.
Great. The report of chair is next. I don't have much to report, but I did go to the literary festival that we partially funded in December, and it was really great. I talked to the organizer and he was really appreciative, really excited about it. Lots of people were there. The organization that they put together to kind of run the event also started giving out awards to some local authors, and Gibran got an award from them for his contribution to authors and books in the area, which he was really appreciative about, and it was really nice. And Aislinn Saranaki was the keynote speaker, and a lot of people came to that talk, and it was really interesting. So I talked to a few other authors, and everybody was really excited to be there, so that was really fun.
I went to Old City Hall.
That's okay.
Then to the front.
This is an invite to Linda Packard's show.
Wonderful. Thank you.
And we went around and said names and something we ate that was really delicious in the last couple of weeks, just because to be names again, because Kelly's still new.
Hi, Kelly.
If you wanna catch up on that in a minute.
Sure, my name's Holly, and I ate, I'm blanking on everything I've eaten except for what I just ate, which was peanut butter on toast. It was delicious.
All right, next is the financial report. Does anyone have any questions about it? I think the one update from previously was that we were a little confused about the extra 5,000, that were not approved. So our budget for the year was 20,000, not 25,000. Which if I'm remembering numbers correctly, means we have 7,000 left
Yep.
for our spring funding cycle.
And is that after, because we had to pay, Stage Door for catering, and that happened in December, right? So,
But the October funds are separate from your,
Right.
right, yeah,
Okay.
so that doesn't count out of this.
Oh,
Yeah,
so,
that comes out of separate, that's a separate line item.
okay.
because I
that's
thought
where
the
confusion
five
was.
thousand we thought
Right.
was for October,
That's
and
right.
then we thought we did not get that when you said there
Right,
wasn't, we weren't approved for the 5,000.
I'll double check with finance
okay.
and I'll send an email around.
Because that's what you thought.
That's what I thought, yeah. We had
Okay.
thought the 5,000 was October, and then if we didn't use all of that, that would go back to our regular budget.
Okay,
And if that wasn't approved, then the October money would come out of the 20,000.
let me double check.
Great, thank you. All right, next, committee reports. We selected new committee chairs at our last meeting. If I'm not mistaken, no committees met in the interim because it was December. I can start with October. I am the new October chair, and we have not met and we have not done anything, but we will meet some point in the next couple of months, ideally, to start thinking about, or maybe rethinking October and our celebration a little bit. And then Tristan is the chair of the Assets Committee, and he's not here. And Holly, you are the chair of the Grants Committee.
We also have not met.
And the next grants funding cycle, the applications will go up in March and be due April 1st. Right, so maybe we should meet at some point and just double check and make sure that the applications that we're putting up are the actual current ones. Great. I feel like we're speeding through this.
We're efficient.
Yeah, great. So our next agenda item is the Hammond Street Ground Mural Project, which we've got visitors here to talk about. Yeah, if you could come sit at the table, because that way the owl can hear you. And we've got chairs here, and there's two over there.
Oh.
Sit here, we won't bite.
We're just always scattered around. So. I'll lead because it's sort of was my idea for the project. My name's Greg Edwards. I'm with Bangor Beautiful. We've got Annette Sones, who's Sones Dodd, who's the president of Bangor Beautiful. Lisa Sokolexis from
Soccer basin.
Saga Basin, sorry, from Wabanaki Public Health and Wellness, and Becky, whose name I forget last name. Bailey.
Yep.
Also from Wabanaki. It's gonna be a collaboration between the two.
if you, it's basically a large mural, but it's on the ground. That's why we're calling it ground mural. They've been called different things around the world, asphalt art, art in the, right of way, but we felt like ground mural communicated what it would be, better. So it's going to start from, the bottom of Hammond Street Hill at Main Street and proceed up past the county courthouse on the right side of the road as you're going up. The map shows, the mural existing inside the shoulder of the road, so traffic won't actually be driving on it. And it's got a couple different purposes, but the primary being creating art to create a safer space, but also connect in with the Wabanaki Cultural Center, Youth and Cultural Center that would be going in at 16 Central Street. So we don't have art yet, but that's where the partnership with Wabanaki comes in. They have artists on staff, and we've been talking with them about what the artwork will look like, and we I can hand it over to you guys if you want to talk about the theme that we are going to land on, unless I'm missing any major parts.
I can just speak as a muralist that is willing to help, and obviously they have artists as well on staff, but I'm more than willing to help, and we're working hopefully together to help create the mural as well. So any guidance that might be needed on large scale art on a road, I'm willing to help.
Yeah, and we really appreciate that support. We have a number of artists on staff, which is amazing. Art is all around us. We believe art is healing. We believe it's central to our healing. It's certainly central to our Wabanaki culture. So when we were asked to participate in a project like this, and we started to think about what's going inside our space, which I invite you all to host a meeting downtown so you can see the space itself, because we have renderings downstairs where you can see Mount Katahdin being recreated. You can see the Penobscot River being recreated on the ground as well. And so that river will go right outside the front door of 16 Central and really connect to the mural on the ground. So really trying to educate and show our cultural connections to the river, and also our responsibility to the river. Having a mural right on the ground, you can't help but see if litter is right beside it. You can't help but see your actions being so connected to the health of our environment. So really wanting to do a focus on education. Yes, our cultural connections to that river that spanned greater than 10,000 years, but also what is our current responsibility to the river today? How are our actions today, just walking down the street, impacting a life so vital to our lives and connected to the health of our people? So really showing the vitality of that river, showing the abundance of that river, as well as showing some of our traditional foods that live near the river, as well as the gardens that we tend to create in all of our properties. So what you're going to see is hopefully the brightness of Maine right there on the asphalt. Hopefully I answered your question.
Yeah, no, that was great. Perfect.
Great. So what are you asking of the commission for this?
So we'll need approval from the city itself
Okay.
to do this because it's in public land. So first step is, because it's going to be a piece of public art, is getting the cultural commission's approval of the concept and idea. I don't know if there's any other
It's more
formal
of a,
things.
it's more of a support or a recommendation.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Do any commissioners have any questions?
I do. So the rainbow painted on the cement doesn't last very long. This design won't have traffic a lot on it, but it will have some. So how do we know that it will stand up under wear? I worry about snowplows too, how they chew up the road.
So we're anticipating it will last like 3 to 5 years with all the wear and tear. We do plan on touching it up after the first year to see how it fares, and touching it up continuously, depending. It will be sturdy traffic paint, so it will be designed for this, and because it's not directly in the road, like if you're looking at the rainbow crosswalk, you'll see exactly where the tires go over it and wear it out. I do think snowplows will also play a pretty big problem with scraping. But yeah, we're anticipating 3 to 5 years, and we'll just, touch it up the best we can each year. I'm assuming it won't just totally implode after the first year. It's a lot of surface area. It's about 3,400 square feet, so it's hard to imagine it totally disappearing in that time span.
No, it just, gets to look dingy and you don't want that sort of worn out look.
Right.
It's gonna look best when it's bright and fresh.
The design too, the overall design, again, we're still in the, planning stages, but is more simplified as well. And then we'll go back in and there will be detailed pieces in there, but it's overall more of a simplified design, like the images that Greg had provided. It's more of a simplified color block than detailed areas inside, than all incredibly detailed, which would help when we're painting things.
Right. It's also gonna be viewed at an odd angle, because you'll be viewing it either from street level right next to it or from sort of a slant, if you're down at the intersection of Green Street.
Yep.
So it's not like you're gonna be right up next to it. And because it's so large, imperfections will tend to blend in. We've been looking at the best practices from a couple of different places that do this artwork, and some of the stuff they talk about is, choosing the right color so that it doesn't look dirty immediately. So we will be taking some of those best practices into mind so that it looks good from the start and stays looking relatively newish. It's gonna be on the ground, so.
I will say from our perspective at Wabanaki Public Health and Wellness, you might not all be seeing it up close and personal, but this is surrounding us.
Yeah.
And if you walk through our buildings, you will see something that is nothing but dingy and everything that we would describe as beautiful. So it doesn't matter what properties that we create, whether it's the detox center or whether it's a recovery center in Millinocket or a family and friends connection center, beauty is the #1 quality we look for. So yes, I agree, we're taking all of this into account, but this is our backyard. This is our responsibility. And in Wabanaki culture, we take our responsibilities really, really close to heart.
I'm only thinking in comparison to, say, a wall mural. And
Absolutely.
along that same stretch would be really dramatic and dynamic, and nobody could miss it.
Yeah.
So I'm not as familiar with asphalt
Mhm.
art.
There's another thing to point out as well, is this particular ground mural is unique because it's up a hill. So it almost becomes a mural in itself. When you're standing looking up Hammond Street, you'll actually see the mural versus a ground mural on a flat location. So it is something that will be visible. And because it is helping to direct traffic, if you stand on that corner, you notice that cars already do not drive within reason on that. It's like that 10 feet, and there is a confusion there. I see it a lot with turning traffic going up as to where to drive and how to do that. And so this will not only help to, direct traffic, slow traffic down where there's crosswalks and things as well, but it's meant to keep cars off of it as well. So I do think that will help with wear and tear.
There aren't currently any parking spaces on that stretch, right? Okay.
No, these are all designed within, their parking buffers that people shouldn't be parking in, but sometimes do because the lines that are painted aren't super visible. There was a large buffer created along the post office and 16 Central Street that's never been allowed for cars. And it's a lot of asphalt that isn't used at all. The road really doesn't need to be that wide. And so it encourages people to drive faster because the road is visually wide. And so as you've got people coming into downtown and coming out of downtown, they're speeding up or maintaining a high level of speed. And this will narrow travel lanes to the state minimum, which is great for urban areas because it visually makes people feel a little claustrophobic and drive slower and more carefully.
There's a lot of research on these in other cities that have actually slowed traffic down and made it safer by having them.
And it's gonna be two separate pieces, or are you connecting it across the crosswalk?
It will be separate, but probably a continuous theme.
Yeah.
Our plan was not to paint out into the crosswalk because that will wear out almost immediately. It also, people love to peel out on art on the ground for some reason. Some people do.
Some people. That was gonna be something I was gonna say is that, you know, but you already kind of addressed it with you do touch-ups, is that somebody might decide to vandalize intentionally and that, you know, if you have the materials to touch it up available, that would be not, hopefully that will never happen, but people are gonna be people and there will be some people that aren't so nice and so, but you addressed that, so.
And we talked about possibly putting up temporary bollards that would keep cars off them, but it's a maintenance issue that we don't want to take on and the city doesn't want to take on. But if this were super popular and you've got people standing out on the road, then, you know, maybe the city would, or we'd feel like inclined to turn it into more of an actual like public space that people could use. Because it's space that is only available to cars, even though it's not really actually designed for cars to use. But yeah, our intention is not to do bollards, but that is something we could take a look at in future years if this is a big hit.
Your printout, everyone here has seen the ones that were done in Alaska, right? Yeah, they obviously have similar conditions of, you know, snow and all of that, and they're staying in Alaska, so that's a pretty good.
Yeah, I was gonna ask about the Alaska ones. Have they, like, are these, because I'm seeing like the photos and they're super vibrant and bright. Is that like pictures of it fresh and new? Are they 3 years old or 5 years old? Like, have they held up?
They were just painted last year, I want to say, so I haven't seen current, you know, a few winters. The one with all the fruits and vegetables is being painted actively. The other one with the woolly mammoths has already been painted, but that one actually, people are parking on it. Seems to be holding up, but it's hard to tell from a distance, which is part of the benefit of this style of artwork.
May I ask, when you said painted last year, are you talking it was painted 23 or 22 and it's had one winter under it?
22,
So it's had a winter under its belt
right?
and into the second, because Fairbanks is not temperature and climate the same as we are.
Right, as in it's colder.
So it's held up
Right.
well. That's-
Yes.
that's my
But this
comment.
photo is not from this year, it's
I-
from when it was made.
Yeah, I would assume it's from the year that it was made, but I don't know.
I think it just gives me confidence that like Fairbanks, Alaska has chosen to do this. So like they clearly, you know, did a bit of research too, as you are. Like they feel confident it's gonna hold up.
Right.
And clearly they get more snow and
Yeah.
more cold than we do,
I
or
assume.
snow for longer.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and these projects are all along the temperate part of the US. So, you know, through Chicago and the Midwest, we are certainly not the only place to get snow. Contrary to what some people might say, we're not unique. A lot of other places have winters.
I think one of the things we're really excited about is that we're developing an after-school program attached to our cultural center. So those renovations are underway beginning now and will be underway until early spring. And many of our young people are artists and they want to engage in art. They want to engage in community and feel a part of community, and having the help and learning the skills of what a muralist does and connecting our young people as well as our staff. And we have over 200 staff. So we are not light in terms of people, and we're certainly not light in terms of artists and the opportunity to engage in making sure the vibrancy is up to standard of this committee and certainly up to our own standards.
What's your timeline? Did I miss that? No.
Our plan was to try to install late spring, as soon as the ground is warm. And that way we'll get a full season pre-snow and then, 3 to 5 years is just an estimate. It could be around even longer. I see stuff painted on the ground that's been there for 10 years. I mean, the absolute end of the time frame is when Hammond Street gets repaved. It will be gone now.
Right. Oh, do we know when that's planned, when the next Hammond Street repaving?
The village partnership project that we're working on with DOT, I mean, we're just in the very pre-planning stages with that project right now. So it's, I would say, at least 3 to 5, I mean, probably the life of this mural.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have a sense of cost?
So I've been looking at different levels of paint, because you can go from incredibly high grade, epoxy based paints down to, cement latex paint that you get at Lowe's. And so we're aiming somewhere in the middle, probably $20,000 to $30,000 in paint material, because it's going to be really high grade paint.
Are you paying the artist?
That's the great thing. They are employed as artists, so this is their job, which is amazing.
Yeah, so your overall budget is 20 to 30.
Yes.
Because the artists are in kind.
That's perfect.
And do you have funding sources?
Not as a gift.
Do you have plans for who to reach out to or where to?
Yes, that's gonna come with part of the partnership with Wabanaki Public Health. They're excellent developers.
We have a team that would work on this project.
Okay.
We would probably just go to 2 donors and quickly make the request and get it closed out. It's a small project for us.
So you're pretty optimistic about the funding.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, no doubt in my mind.
Good. And what do you want from us?
I think just support and
Yeah.
enthusiasm.
Formal support. This would be great if the commission agrees.
Are there any other questions? No, I love it, right?
Great,
Me
yeah.
too.
It's exciting.
Yeah. How do we move to formally support?
Just move to formally support.
Formally support the mural.
You can't.
I can't.
You can second.
I move to formally support the mural.
I second.
All right,
Um,
yeah, cool. I'm excited.
Thank you.
Does this have to be presented to the?
It has to go to council, yeah,
Okay,
so we'll send your recommendation to them.
okay.
I think inviting you all to when we get started and a kickoff would be wonderful, and of course, when it's completed, I think it's going to be striking. I think it's going to be a reason why people who don't go north of Augusta come north of Augusta. So I'm really excited about this project.
Great. Let us know if it's helpful to have a commissioner present when you bring it to the
Yeah, absolutely. I
council.
will, we'll let you know, yeah.
Wonderful.
cannot hurt.
Thank you.
Thank
And
you.
for coming to an early Friday morning meeting.
Yes.
All right. The next item on our agenda was that we wanted to follow up on our events calendar project. We had deferred establishing an ad hoc committee until this meeting, hoping that there would be more commissioners at this meeting, which I don't think is the case. But maybe we just start, if anybody who's here today is interested in joining the events calendar ad hoc committee, then we can send around a full commission email to schedule a meeting.
Yeah, I'm happy to join. And I think we were gonna reach out to Justin Russell as
Yes.
well, right? Yeah, and I have all of the the past information that I had worked with Aubrey and Betsy of the what's that? Like an acronym, Downtown Bangor Partnership,
Yes.
and yeah, so I have all of that stored. But if anybody wants to join us.
If you need bodies, I'm thinking I don't have as much connection with as many different groups as I used to, so I'm not sure I'd be as useful. That's all.
I think what would be useful is a bit of a variety in demographics, because the goal of this calendar is to reach different audiences. And I think Holly and I are pretty similar in age and probably similar in how we get our information. And
It's a
same
nice
with
way of you
Justin.
saying, Sarah, I'm too young for this job.
No. That's why we want you honest.
Great.
So if you'd like to join, that would be really cool, because
Okay,
I want
I'll-
different experiences and different ways of reaching people.
I can do that. Cool.
Thank you. All right. Then we will reach out and send a meeting request to the rest of the commission. We'll meet sometime in the next month-ish, right? And just do a
Sure, let's aim to meet
planning.
by the end of January.
Yes. That sounds great. Should we invite Betsy to that too?
Yeah.
She'd be interested. Yeah. Great.
I have a couple of things when you get to other business.
Yeah, I think that's where we're at.
Okay, great. On Monday, the city council is gonna be appropriating funds for bathrooms around the city, public bathrooms. And what other cities have done with the bathroom is they've turned the exterior into an art piece. And the council would love to have this commission sort of help us with, reviewing different art projects, kind of, helping run that program. I think it'd be a great project for the commission, and it'd be great to take what's kind of a utilitarian building and, have it be something special.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah, okay, so if it's okay, we'll put that on the next month's agenda, just to kind of keep it as a standing thing. I can update you and, we can talk more about process and how this is gonna work then, if that's okay.
Yeah.
They're gonna be up year round or just warm months, do you know?
For,
The bathrooms,
no, the,
fully installed.
yeah,
bathrooms.
fully installed, yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Is it a building or a porta potty?
It'll be, it's sort of a combination, it's definitely on a concrete slab. But it's slightly raised just for cleaning and monitoring and, yeah, so it's kind of a hybrid building. It's kind of cool. I saw some in use, when I was in Austin last fall. They have some speckled around their downtown, and they seem to be very effective, and, no vandal issues, so, yeah. Easy to clean.
That's great.
Yeah,
I've seen ones that are like self-cleaning.
Oh, I know, I love those. Like, Tokyo has those, and we're like,
I've seen them in Europe. Yeah, you like go in and then afterwards it's like locked for 30 seconds and it like, it's
Yeah.
a total wet room, so it just like sprays itself down.
Yeah. No, these aren't those. I would love those, but yeah, I'm sure they're pretty expensive. And then the other thing is, start to think about budget for next year. We'll put that, if that's okay, on your agenda for next month. Because I'll be starting to do all the different division budgets as well as the commission probably next month into March, so it'd be good for us to start talking about that.
I also have one quick item. I just found out this morning that you have another new commission member. So her name's Samantha. She will be starting in February, but new commissioner coming on board.
Great.
Yay.
Great. And I feel bad saying this, but, and I don't mean to throw anyone under the bus, but I know we had talked about it before, but like if a commissioner is never here, like, should their spot be released so we can have somebody who's active?
The rules do state that you can only miss 3 meetings in a year, right? And if you miss more than 3,
So I think we have a
You get
commissioner who is, I don't think I've seen him at a meeting.
Isn't it 3 unexcused? Or 3 total? For example,
I have to look at your.
if you have a major injury
right?
and you can't be here,
Yeah. I think it's 3, I don't know if it's 3 unexcused officially the way you would excuse an absence in school.
or a major.
But
health
there
issue,
were-
I should say.
And right, and a major health issue would likely mean that you would miss 1 or 2 because they're only monthly. And if you end up missing more than 3, you might have to leave the commission because you can't join meetings for more than 3 months.
Well, I'll use myself for an example.
Yeah,
I was struck physically by an automobile in Shaw's parking lot
recently, you okay?
7 years ago. The case got settled in 2023.
Oh, wow,
So I've had less than a year out of 6 years.
right,
I mean, no, it was in 23, we settled the case and it was in the 7th year.
Mhm.
It was early enough, so I missed December, January and February.
right,
But it was known that I was in the
Right.
hospital, I was in rehab, I was unable.
right.
Right, and that's not at all what I
And
mean.
see,
Like,
right,
that
that's
is
why
that's
I'm saying.
an
it's-
extenuating
Yeah,
circumstance.
I think there
I
are
think there is
exceptions.
that extent, that is
Yeah.
that possibility
Yes.
that it means.
Right, that also would have been 1 meeting in 1 year and 2 meetings in the other
Right.
year.
But at the time our
Right.
meetings began, our schedule was different than most of
Right.
us, I swear.
But if someone doesn't show up and doesn't give a reason
Like,
over
when,
and
I'm
over
just, when
again.
is the last meeting that Cody has been at?
I think Cody joined remotely.
Okay.
Either in December or November. But yes,
I'm trying to find where in the code there is that language about.
we had
attendance.
talked about it in June, I think, or July, because Aubrey was thinking about moving and she was unsure of timing. That's when it came up in discussion.
When is his term of the term, when is his expiration date, if you want to put it that way?
I don't know.
His term ends,
Right, I'm not sure.
she has, in our,
It says on the website.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can find that out. I just don't have it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
in front of me,
we'll
but-
look into that about the,
Yeah.
yeah.
Maybe what we should do, or what we could do is send an email to the whole commission to kind of reaffirm interest and restate that.
Yeah, like if
People should
somebody
really-
doesn't
like, if you're
want
not-
to come to meetings, I'd rather have that spot open to
Right.
somebody who could then join and be
Yes.
an active member.
Yes. I do think, do we still have an open spot, an unfilled spot?
I
Yeah.
think you
Even
do
after
have
some
one.
There's at least one and
Yeah.
possibly even 2 that
Yeah.
are still open.
We used to get, and I have an old one that I still use occasionally. When the year began, if you want to put it that way, and the swearing in comes in from the city, we used to get a sheet of, we could print it off, because you would send it out, somebody sent it out. My name, my address, my telephone numbers, my email, and my term length.
Right.
Barbara, you must have one of those somewhere too.
Yeah, I think we used to get one.
I still have mine in my
Yeah, I mean, we
binder,
don't,
this stuff.
on the website, we don't publish all
No,
that
no, no.
information. We
But,
just
but
say
commission
your name
members to have.
and you're right, if you wanna do a contact sheet with each other, that's
Yeah.
fine. The website just has your name and when your term expires.
Right. And I think we have everybody's emails because you send out.
Yep.
The agenda and everybody's emails are on that. Yeah, I think it's worth considering. Or just encouraging members to actually show up to the meetings. Because, right, we do discuss a lot of things that impact the town, even though it's the culture and all the fun stuff. But I think it would be great to have more than half of the commission at our meetings. Cody did show up last year a few times to our grants subcommittee meetings. That's good, even though he wasn't at many of the main meetings. Any other thoughts? Do we need to start bringing coffee and donuts? So that people will show up?
It makes it easier to come to this meeting because it tends to be run very efficiently and very productively. It doesn't feel like a waste of time.
I'll try to keep it that way.
Yes, ma'am.
Does anybody have any other business? On that note of efficiency, I think someone else has to move to adjourn. Or do I move?
You can
You
adjourn.
can acclamation of the chair.
Oh, by acclamation of the chair, I adjourn this meeting.
There you go.
All right,
Great sharing.
thank you.